Welcome back, my tigers in the Euphrates. How you doing today? It's Chris here, and today we're talking about these beastly towers right here. The glue gunners and all the upgrades in between. The glue gunners are a surprisingly versatile tower that can be used in a multitude of ways that we're not really used to. Usually in other games, in all the BTD5 and battles and such, glue gunners are just that balloon popping power tower. That's all they do. They pop some balloons. You gotta get corrosive glue so you can melt through some of these layers. That's what they were used for, but now we can even do damage to Moab class balloons, actually melt through ceramics down to nothing, even take down reinforced balloons over here. They're pretty insane. So we have to understand how these guys work. Now, before I even start getting upgrades for these guys, I do have to give you guys a quick public service announcement over here. No, I'm not perfect. No, yes, I may end up missing some details up in here. Please forgive me. I am only human. But if you guys know that I've missed something, please put it in the comments below so everybody else can understand the tower even better. It's always great to become more knowledgeable. And thank you, of course, for helping everybody else out as well. Hopefully there'll be no key errors in this game, but let's talk about these guys. Now, I'm also doing this game on sprint track over here, whatever the heck this map's called, because there's a timer on the side here, and it's actually going to help us understand how long the glue lasts. One thing to note here is if I do keep it on low speed mode here, 1 second is a second. If I speed it up, though, you'll notice that the game will end up speeding up the time as well, so it doesn't matter if I put it on speed up mode or regular mode, it will end up being the same time. It'll be an accurate amount of time, is basically what it means. And I'll talk about what I mean in just a second here, but as 0-0 glue gunner, this guy's actually pretty freaking sweet. The cool thing is he can actually go through 3 layers of balloons and last for about 15 seconds or so. I think it's actually a little bit longer than 15 seconds, but I believe it's like right around there. It's kind of a weird number though. So if I send out a pink balloon over here, look, okay, we glued him at 21 seconds, 8:21. Oh no, we got 10% battery, man! We're gonna have to make sure that we do a good job with this one. So because we got it at 21, we're gonna wait until 31, that's 10 seconds, 11, 12, 13, 14, and okay, about 14 seconds or so, maybe 15 seconds exactly, if we end up gluing this guy. And on top of that, what we can do is we can actually glue through multiple layers, just as a 0-0 glue gunner. So this is actually pretty freaking sweet. So watch this, guys. If I end up, so of course we don't do any damage as this glue gunner. We just slow the balloons down to about 50% of the speed. So if you actually look at the speed of what we're going here, it's about 50%. I'm going to show you guys some speed kind of comparisons a little bit later on with our glue and then the even slower glue as well. But for now, just understand it's about 50%. So let's put up a couple dart monkeys over here. We're going to put a dart monkey here and a dart monkey here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to send out a pink balloon. Alright, we're going to put this on slow mode. And you're going to see that the dart monkey is going to go pop the pink, pop to green, and then pop to blue. And then once we pop to blue, the glue is gone. So we can go through 3 layers as a 0-0 glue gunner. And that's why this guy is actually not a bad tower to use at all. Once we get to glue soak, so what the heck does what do these upgrades actually do over here? Glue soak. Now we soak through all layers of balloons. So now instead of just 3 measly little layers over here, we can go through all the way down to nothingness. So whether we're a Moab or well, Moabs are a little tricky, but whether we're a ceramic, a rainbow, lead, or whatever, man, we go all the way down to nothingness. Which, if you ask me, man, is pretty freaking sexy over here for $170. So this is going to change into if we sent out a rainbow and we put down a bunch of dart monkeys over here with some, like, decent upgrades over here, man. And you see the glue is going to last all the way down into nothing until it eventually wears off. And yes, the glue will still have the chance to wear off if you wait long enough over here. So the glue, bump, eventually it does disappear. Same amount of time as the other glue gunner, though, about 15 seconds or so. So now, once we finally get up to the corrosive glue, now is where we're starting to do some real damage over here. You can see the glue gunner's pop count is still zilcho. He has not done a single pop yet. And of course, we want to pop the balloons, man. And you know what? He's acting as a support tower right now, but now we can change him to a damage tower that can do damage and kind of act as a support tower as well. Similar to maybe like an ice tower or something like that. Now, if I sent out something like a rainbow balloon here, now he's going to glue through all the layers and start to do damage by himself, and then all the other towers can also support and kill the balloons as well. You can see that rainbow that snuck through before is going to get popped this time. So how many layers does this guy actually go through? That's a good question. We know it lasts about 15 seconds. So how long does it take to pop through 1 layer and how long does it actually last to go through everything. So let's test it out against a pink balloon up in here. So at about 32 seconds, we hit this pink balloon. 35. All right, about 3 seconds or so to actually pop through a layer over here. About, roughly. Again, it's not perfect over here. I think it's some weird number over here. But we only popped through 4 layers. So we're going to go all the way down to the red balloon over here with our corrosive glue gunner. Now keep in mind that going from a pink to a red is only 4 pops. But if we end up sending out something stronger up in here, like a rainbow balloon, now instead of just going through 4 balloons, we're going to go through many more pops than that. So if we just look at the pop count over here, man. 17, okay, we did 1. And then 19, we did 2. And then we're going to get 4 more after that. Holy crap, 23. And then we can do, what, 8 after that? 30. What? So we did way more pops than just the sad little 4 balloons right there. So you can see how the layers can really come into play over here. Alright? Especially with the different combinations that we can get, whether it's bigger globs or stickier glue or longer lasting glue or anything along those lines. These different combinations of glue gunners can definitely get really freaking interesting over here. Alright, one thing that I should mention is now we can finally start doing damage to Moab class balloons. So a 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, and most other sort of lower tier glue gunners don't do damage to mobs, but once you get this corrosive glue, you can. Alright, it's not much, okay, but it is something that we should note over here. If I do end up hitting this mob here, which again, is weird that glue can even hit the mob, you can look at our pop count over here, and it will go up. It's going to do that 4 damage. Like, oh, actually only 2, I'm sorry. It only lasts half as long against the mob class balloons. Forgot about that. It only lasts half as long against the mob class balloons. And this actually comes into play as well with the stronger glue as well. It's only going to last half as long against Moab class balloons. But anyways, let's move on to this third upgrade up in here. Not corrosive glue, but now the Bloon dissolver. So we're getting really pricey over here, guys. We're talking big change. This is not something we're going to get in the early part of the game. We're going to get this in like the late, middle-ish, maybe all the way into the late game part of this game right here. But the Bloon dissolver is very strong. Okay, so what I can do is, you know what? Actually, one last thing about the corrosive glue is he's going to do 4 damage against a ceramic balloon as well. So if I did just do a ceramic balloon, I start off with 0. We're going to see it do 1, 2, 3, and 4. This means that if I just hit a ceramic with just glue, he's not going to do much damage. But if I pop in some dart monkeys or something like that, just to pop through that ceramic layer really quick, he's going to be that much more powerful. So if I do, use corrosive glue gunner right here, and I set it a ceramic one more time. Now I've only got 3 dart monkeys, which is not all that powerful. You saw how many things leak through before. Now that we're going through this ceramic layer a little bit easier, hopefully, can re-glue all these like medium strength balloons and everything like that, and then bam, shazam, man, we're gonna take these things down to basically nothing. Oh yeah, so you can see how that little tiny bit of extra popping power right there is really gonna go a long way for us. That means as soon as you glue these ceramic class balloons and higher tier balloons, you got to get to the poppin'. Get to the poppin' with your other random towers. You don't want to leave them, you know, popping all the way in the back here, or like, you know, putting like a texture in the corner or something like that. Like, that's just not going to be worth it to pop these balloons. So let's start over here and talk about this, finally, this Bloon dissolver, man. Bloon dissolver. So what does this guy do? Let's read about him really quick. Extreme solvent. Melts 2 layers every second. What? So now we're going through multiple layers this time? Heck to the yeah. So if we test this out against, how about a Moab really quick? Again, we can already do damage to this Moab. We're going to see, okay, we're only doing 1, 2, 3, 4. We're only doing a mediocre amount of damage, I'd say. Overall, we only do 9 damage, 11. What the heck? Is it still gluing this Moab? I don't know if that's broken. Sounds like we're doing damage to the Moab. That's really weird. Okay. I'm a little confused by that, actually. Maybe the animation wears off before... Oh, man, this is getting tricky over here, guys. Maybe the animation wears off before the glue actually stops working, because you can see I'm not shooting the Moab over here, and he's still doing damage, and he still doesn't look like he's got the glue on him. So maybe it doesn't last half the amount of time. Maybe it is the right amount of time over here. I think we got to do one last test over here. Let's see if it does last the approximately 15 seconds or so. Let's do one Moab here. Let's look at the timer, and at about 1908. Okay. Okay, so at about 8 seconds, it technically disappears. But we're still getting damage on this guy. 57. And it finally stopped around, what, 26 or so? So yeah, it looks like it lasts about that 15 seconds. So that's actually really cool that the animation wears off and the glue still ends up dissolving over here. Oh, man, definitely tricky up in here. You can especially tell, again, I don't know if this is a glitch or a bug, or if I'm being stupid, or if the game's being weird. Any of those are definitely possible. All right, it's probably me being wrong, but yeah, just very interesting. All right, let's go. Let's talk about the Bloon Dissolver though against the regular Bloons. So this is actually really cool because now if we send out anything below a rainbow, guess what, guys? Down to nothing. Whoop! And actually, I don't think it does 2 layers. I think they're lying to us. Melts 2 layers. Oh, every second. Okay, excuse me. Boom. All right, that's where it is. It doesn't actually melt 2 layers every second. What it does is it melts 1 layer every half of a second. Is what's really happening over here. Okay, that makes more sense. Ninja Kiwi's just messing with my head over here with these weirdo rules. And I actually knew that because the Bloon Solver actually does 2 layers. So this is really interesting. Anyways, I'm sorry about that slight hiccup there, guys. But you can see every half a second here, we are doing that layer. Okay, cool. Now, when we finally get to ceramic class balloons, though, sadly, we still can't take these guys down to nothing. You can see that we do this, it's a pretty decent amount of damage against these balloons. Take them down to Chinatown over here, but we're going to end up with red balloons left over. Oh! Now, the interesting thing about this is if we just had just a straight Bloon Dissolver over here, he's not going to be able to pop all the balloons. Actually, he might. I don't know. He might be able to reach over there, but he's not going to be able to pop all the balloons over here. But if I just put 1 Dart Monkey, watch this, just 1 shot with this Dart Monkey right here. Watch this, guys. We're going to send out a quick ceramic here. I'm going to sell this guy right after he gets a shot off. Boom, 1 shot. That's all we need. Now watch what's going to happen over here. Now we did 1 extra layer to the ceramic so we can go all the way down to nothing. Woo! So that's just a really interesting way to play with the glue gunners, you know? Just adding a little bit of extra popping power can go a long way. Moving on to Moabs and stuff, guys, you saw what we're doing over here. We're doing a decent amount of damage overall, but really it's nothing special. It's just something that, like, okay, at least he does damage to Moabs, but really that's not what we're going to use this guy for at all. It's just an additive bonus, alright? That's why it's not even that important for me to get it 100% right. But we're trying our best. And once we get up to this Bloon liquefier, alright, now what are we doing over here, man? The Bloon liquefier liquefies balloons by popping them 10 times every second. What? This is 5 times as fast as the Bloon Dissolver. Do we even need this, though? We can already take down ceramic balloons down to reds with just the 3rd tier. So going up to this 4th tier, is it going to be worth it? I don't know, man. It's a little intense. I should mention that I haven't mentioned this yet, but if we sent out 2 balloons at a time, if we sent out 2 blue balloons here, without any extra special upgrades over here, these 3rd tier, 1st, 2nd, 3rd tier, and 4th tier upgrades are all only going to hit 1 balloon per shot. So it's very easy to not hit all the balloons coming out against us, especially grouped balloons. That's something to definitely keep in mind over here. But we're going to go back to the 1 count. Now when we send out a ceramic balloon, or let's do a rainbow first, just to test this guy out. Boom, just sprays him down to frickin' nothing. Ceramic balloon. Oh, this one's going to go down really fast as well. 1 second to pop the ceramic layer, and about a second to pop everything else inside. So obviously, very, very strong. Even against a reinforced ceramic man, this guy's got 20 layers, then he pops all the balloons inside like that. It doesn't even matter. But now we got to talk about the Moab class balloons. Of course, we can do damage to Moab class balloons up in here. You can see the amount of damage we're doing is pretty good. Let's see, the animation's going to wear off, right? Come on. There. And that one, he does stop attacking. Alright, that's got to be some sort of weird bug. Maybe let me just try one more time with this Bloon Dissolver right here. They might have, yeah, I don't know. It's very goofy. One last time. Animation wears off, and he still keeps on attacking. It's definitely a bug here, guys. We finally found one. And he does that whopping 17 damage right there against that mob with that 1 shot. So that's cool. Yeah, again, another 17 damage. Interesting. Interesting indeed, my friends. Alright, Bloon Liquefier, obviously we know is freaking awesome over here. He can actually do some pretty mega damage against these Moab class balloons with just 1 shot. He does a good amount of damage. But, again, with the weird bug thing happening there on the 3rd to 4th tier, it can definitely play into the game at least a little bit up in here. But it looks like one of these Bloon dissolvers on this map can't even pop through. Maybe. Oh, he does. He pops through the Moab layer. But one thing you noticed is, once we popped into these ceramics right here, we were not glued anymore. So even though it says through all layers, the Moab class Bloons and higher don't count as layers. So if we pop a BFB on the Moabs, they're not going to be glued. If we pop a Moab down to ceramics, they're not going to be glued anymore. And that's definitely something that we have to keep in mind. Now, the Bloon Solver, he's actually a pretty expensive tower, but in my opinion, probably the most worthwhile glue gunner over here, the Bloon Solver. The reason why this guy's so interesting is because if I do send out 999 red balloons up in here, I'm doing red balloons for a reason. Let's actually start them off with a 0 balloon count up in here, just to make it easy for ourselves. 999 reds. Look at our pop count. We're going 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12. What the heck does that mean over here? Why are we doing 12 per shot? Well, basically, even though we went from 1 for the 4th tier, once we get the Bloon Solver, we're doing 12 balloons per shot. This is not with any extra upgrades, guys. This is just a 5-0-0. So that's actually pretty insane to do 5 balloons per shot. This guy is like your grouped balloon popping power king right here. All right. Now, against red balloons, it doesn't seem all that good, but if I sent out, I don't know. Let's see. Let's see if we can do... Let's do like 300 ceramics or something like that. I think he might be able to take down all these ceramics. Well, how many did we get? 540. If I sent out 540, or let's just do 500 ceramics right here. Watch this guy go to town right here, man. Boom, 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 boom. Actually, red balloons are slower, so we might not be able to hit all these ceramics. But you can see how much damage we're doing against these guys, man. It's just freaking crazy. Just sprays these guys down to nothing. Alright, so it looks like 500 was just a little bit too much, man. Let's try 250. 250, just for fun, just for the fun of it. And this is a good amount of ceramics right here, guys. 250 ceramics. Not very many towers can pop these guys down to a very low... Oh, man, still too many, really? Oh, that's a little upsetting. But you can see the amount of the pop count we have. 50,000 pops. Like that. That's pretty insane. Well, how about against Moab class Bloons up in here? So let's slow this down a little bit. We're going to watch the damage against this Moab class Bloon right here. So it's not going to be much more than our... Whoa, look at that pop count. I think that's glitched as well. What? Because that is not accurate at all. Wow. Alright, just goofy as can be, man. That's weird. Alright, so the glue gunner, I mean, usually like, oh, I lied. It's not inaccurate. Not inaccurate, guys. Not inaccurate. I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot. We're going to do it against one Moab over here. And now we can actually see this guy go to town. He does those 2 layers of damage as I was talking about earlier. And basically we are popping things faster than the 4th tier, on top of being able to glue 12 times as many at a single time. It's ridiculous, dude. It's ridiculous. I'm sorry about saying that. I got one bug and I got excited, man. I want to talk about more bugs over here. When you go boom, we spray these ceramics down to nothing. So you can see the one Moab over here will get popped, where as the 4th tier, he did not get popped. So I spent a lot of time on this top path glue gunner right here, because I think he's probably the better glue gunner. Now, as far as what other upgrades to go for, do you want to get the bigger globs and the glue splatter, or do you want to get the stickier glue and the stronger glue? And if it was me, I would definitely go with the stickier glue and the stronger glue, just because I know that no matter what, it's going to last for pretty much forever. We're going to double the amount of time that we're gluing these balloons for. So even against BFBs and Moabs and stuff like that, we can glue them for so much longer, they're just going to do that much more damage. So even when it's not even close to this thing, just boom, 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 and we damage this thing all the way down into nothing with just that one single shot right there. So we did, what, 200? Did we really do 200 damage with one single shot with the stronger glue? That's awesome. Let's try it out one more time, guys. Again, just a single Moab right here. Let's see the damage on this guy. 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. Oh, baby. 130. And 200. All right, perfect. I think they might have done that to us on purpose. And just to confirm, we can try against a BFB right here. Might do, magically, just over 200. So what were we at? 248, 348, 4... Did he re-glue it or not? Oh, it looks like he just re-glued it right there. I don't know. It's pretty close to 200, though. Because that's 2 shots already. Alright. That's pretty cool, man. That's pretty cool. I think I want to do one more test here with this stronger glue with a single BFB, starting with a 0 pop count, just to confirm for you guys, man. See how much damage we do. Let's see, when is he going to re-glue this thing? It's got to get close to 200. 200? 238. That's a weird freaking number right there, but I'm pretty certain that it was 238. And if we get our calculator out here, man, what are we going to get up to here? 476. 476 divided by 2 equals 238. Bam. What the weird number. It's just a certain amount of time that it lasts, and it does a certain amount of damage. Ninja didn't plan out a certain amount of damage for it. They just did the timing times the damage, and that's what they got. So just a very interesting concept right there. If we do 238 times 3, so only 3 shots, we do 714 damage. We will pop the BFB with this glue gun right here. And then, of course, we just bam, 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 and knock these mobs down into basically nothing, super duper fast. So this is why the Bloon Solver is so freaking sexy over here, man. We're doing damage to BFBs, we're doing damage to mobs, we're doing damage to crazy amounts of balloons. This guy's just an awesome tower to have. So before I only got 5% battery, guys. We gotta get going with this thing. What does bigger globs do? This is actually a pretty simple one. You guys know that a glue gunner can only go through 1 balloon, right? But if I got the balloon, the bigger globs out, now I can go through 2 balloons. So if I send out 3 reds, we're going to go whoop, and we go through 2 balloons instead of just 1. Alright, sweet. So if you combine that guy with like a corrosive glue gunner or something like that, it can really add a lot of extra damage for yourself. Moving on to glue splatter, now we can affect 6 balloons, but now it's not really like a straight line type thing. It's more of a splatter. So it's kind of interesting. If I send out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, it might not end up affecting all 6 in a nice straight line right here, especially if I slow it down 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. You can see that the 6th one's not going to end up, or even the 5th one's not even going to get hit over there. So the glue splatter does like splash damage, basically, kind of like an explosion does. And that's something to keep in mind when you're getting this guy. Now, most people aren't going to just get a 0-2 glue gunner. This makes sense, but it's just something to point out. Glue hose. So now we're not only doing 6 balloons per splatter, we're also doing triple our speed right here. So we can do basically 18 balloons in the time that we'd normally do 1 balloon. So this is basically used for when you have crazy amounts of balloons coming out. I don't know, maybe 300 balloons or something like that. Let's see how fast we can glue these guys. I don't know. Let's just send out reds just to slow it down a little bit. But you can see, oh, not quite enough right there, man. Let's see if by the time he goes around more time, he's, you know, we can't even see the pops because I don't have the corrosive glue on, but you can see the crazy amount of gluage we've got right here. Hitting 6 balloons per shot. Oh yeah, oh yeah. But he does a great job. If you add in this corrosive glue right here, it's going to be so much better because he actually starts to pop these balloons and everything like that. So moving on to past the glue hose, this thing is actually pretty bad. We've got the glue striker, which is only 3 grand. Okay, this is an interesting concept here, guys. No matter how many balloons are on the screen, we sent 999 crazy ceramics over here. Keep in mind, you're probably going to want to combine this with something else. Now, of course, we can never glue all of these guys with our regular glue hose, but if I use my ability right here, we can glue the crap out of everything on the screen. And that's what this guy's basically used for. Glue everything on the screen. If you've got corrosive glue or something like that, it will end up affecting the balloons in the same way. It doesn't just glue them, it corrosive glues them as well. If you have stickier glue or stronger glue, same thing will end up happening right here. But, it does end up wearing off, of course, which is a little sad. It just acts like your regular glue. So I don't know, man. I don't really find it worth it for that amount of money right there. Moving on, we've got the glue storm, which is basically the same thing, but now we can have it last longer. Like, is that worth 15 grand? No, definitely not. This is probably going to be one of the most underused 5th tier towers in the game. If you're going to make this guy, man, make him 3 grand more. Like, that's it. That's all you want to do. Or make him have, like, some special, like, damage multiplier or something like that if you actually want this guy to do anything. But he really doesn't do a great job just as this solo 5th tier tower. Even with the corrosive glue, he just doesn't end up being that great. So, here we go. Stickier glue. Alright, what does this guy do? Alright, so now we've got stickier glue, which makes the glue effect last much longer. So we found it lasts about 15 seconds or so with the regular guy. Once you get the stickier glue, let's time this out really quick, guys. Let's send out a red balloon. Ooh, that's 999, isn't it? Crap. 999. Alright, we're going to do 1 red balloon here. We don't have corrosive glue, so here we go. At about 37 seconds. So that's 10 seconds. There's 20 seconds, and 4, 5, 6, 7, 33, 34, 35, So I counted about 38 seconds. About. In my previous game, I actually mathed it out to about 35 seconds or so I'm not sure the exact number, but it lasts for a pretty good amount of time over here. If you combine this with something like the corrosive glue, now instead of going through just 4 layers, we can go through much more than that. So if we go against a rainbow balloon here, we can go from a rainbow all the way down to, holy crap, oh man, what are we going to get down to here? Pinks, yellows, greens, what? Blues, reds, can we go all the way? And we do! We go all the way down to nothingness. Sadly, not quite the same story when we go down to ceramics here. We just don't do quite enough damage against the ceramic balloon, and it is going to wear off against these other guys. Now again, this is a great kind of addition here. If you did end up popping down just a couple other, like dart monkeys or something like that, to pop that ceramic layer, you're going to do much more damage, you know? So we only really did like 11 layers against that guy. But if we did, some dart monkeys here against the ceramic. We're going to hit the ceramic. Dart monkeys are going to pop the ceramic layer really quick, and then bam, we can start doing the real glue damage with the our glue gunner here. And we're going to take these guys down to nothingness. Awesome! Sweet. Alright, so that's really like the power of the glue gunner, like a 201, like a 22, like depends on what you're going for here. Just keep in mind, if you do end up going for like a 202, you're only hitting 1 balloon per shot instead of 2 balloons per shot, or 6 balloons per shot, which may end up affecting how good your glue gunner is. And honestly, even though I like the idea of this, probably not going to be all that useful for me. Stronger glue. So once we get to the stronger glue... Oh, man, get that out of there. Once we get to the stronger glue up in here, slows down balloons even more. So this is where we need to do a quick speed run, guys. I knew I was going to tell you guys about this later. We're going to do 1 glue gunner here, 1 glue gunner here. We're going to get a quick stronger glue, and we're going to get a stickier glue. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to send out 3 rainbows here. 3 rainbows, and I gotta do this perfectly. I gotta sell this guy. There we go. So now we got 3 rainbows on the screen. One of them is not glued. One of them is glued with just regular glue, or the stickier glue, and then one of them is glued with the stronger, stickier glue. So you can see the speed differential right here, and I timed it out, and according to my quick little math thingamajiggerbob, I ended up getting regular balloons are 100% speed. Glued balloons are 50% speed, and then the super strong glued balloons, the 02 guys over here, stronger glued, is going to be 25% speed of the regular speed. So, yeah, that's the best way I can put it. 25% of the regular balloon speed, or 50% slower than the already glued balloons. So, very interesting, guys. Definitely interesting. Once we get to Moab glue, oh, now we can affect Moab blues. Well, kind of we could already, right? But now it improves the glue formula, allows it to stick to Moab class blues. Yeah, I don't really get this, because we could already do this with corrosive glue, so, like, what's the point of this? You know? Like, does it really do that much more damage or anything like that? Like, okay. Well, what we do, though, is we don't do any extra damage, but now we can slow down the Moab-class balloons over here. Now, this is actually going to affect Zomagods, BFBs, and Moab-class balloons, so I can definitely see why people might end up liking this thing. So if we get this guy going, you can see, oh crap, look at that, we can affect the Moabs over here, we can do BFBs, and we can kind of see the slowdown action coming into play over here with the speed differential of our glue gunner. Keep in mind, as just a 003 over here, we can only hit 1 balloon per shot, or 1 Moab class balloon per shot, which is definitely something you have to keep in mind when getting this glue gunner. Once you get up to the relentless glue, oh, pop balloons that were glued, leave a glue blob on the glue track. Sorry guys, I'm trying to speed this up, I only got like 3% battery left, man. Oh, let's try and finish it. So this is actually kind of an interesting one, because if we sent out something like a rainbow without any extra corrosive glue or anything like that, he's basically like worthless, you know, like what, really? Like, this guy's not gonna be all that good for us for right now. But if we get the corrosive glue going, we send out 1 rainbow, because we know we can pop those guys down into nothing. Once we finally get this guy down into nothing, he's going to leave a nice little glue track on it. So if I didn't send out a bunch of pinks over here that I couldn't end up hitting, well, maybe I did a little too fast there, guys. Let's try a couple more pinks over here that we couldn't end up hitting. Oh, I did it too fast again, man. Oh, we're going to leave some glue on the track down there. And it only lasts for a few seconds, though. That's probably the hard part about it. But once we land on this thing, the balloons do end up getting glued. And then, guess what, guys? They can do it again! So the glue that we just glued over there are going to get redouble glued and leave more glue. So it's just like a never-ending supply of glue, which I just think is pretty freaking cool. You know, if you ask me, man, it's cool. Is it useful? I don't know. But it's definitely fun. Now, if I did like I don't know. Let's do something that shoots kind of fast. Let's do like a super monkey. And then we're going to glue let's just do a white balloon up in here. Just glue the white balloon over here, and you can see the super monkey is going to pop this guy down into the balloons, and it still does leave the glue. It doesn't matter if the glue gunner kills it or if the other towers glue it, it's still going to leave the glue on the ground, which is definitely fun, you know, addition to this glue gunner right here. But he is 4th tier, so he should be pretty solid, right? Moving on, we've got the super glue. Oh! So this is another fairly interesting tower up in here. Now we're getting to the point where we can hit mobs, oh my gods, DDTs, and all of that goodness right there, and stun them. It's kind of interesting because we can stun Zomai Gods and BFBs forever. Because all of them, all three of them, if we have just one of them coming out, we can stun them forever. And even when you have kind of decent-sized grouped balloons coming out of here, we can still do a pretty decent job. Now keep in mind that this guy is a corrosive glue gunner right now. It's actually probably not the way to go if you're going for this 5th tier tower right here. If you are going to go for this 5th tier tower, you probably want to get the glue splatter with this guy, because now we can affect up to 6 at the same time. So if I get rid of all these guys over here and I send out 6 Zomai God class balloons. Now this is a lot of Zomai Gods right here, guys. 6 Zomai Gods, all on top of each other. Look at this glue go to town. What? We stun them forever? Yes. So you might be thinking, oh crap, Chris, you're going to get stuck in this never-ending loop of Zomai God killage right here. You're never going to beat this thing. Well, if we look at this thing, he actually does weirdo damage right here. Every shot, he does 0.5 damage. So he ends up doing, against these Zomai Gods, or actually, is it every shot or like every second or so, does 0.5 damage, so it takes a couple shots for him to actually do a single damage against these Zomai Gods. It looks weird because I got 6 of them coming out. If I had just one of them coming out against a Moab class balloon here, you can really see it go to town. 49, 50, 51, 52. It's very interesting to see that. So you will eventually pop Moabs, BFBs, and Zomai Gods if you wait long enough with this 5th tier glue gunner. If you want to speed up the process a little bit, you can, of course, go for a corrosive glue, but it's not going to be much more help at all, guys. I mean, look at the amount of damage we're doing. It's like, actually, what the heck? He's doing no damage this time. Alright, that's not supposed to happen. It's got to be some sort of glitch there that I've made, I think. I hope. There we go. Now it's back in action, man. That's so weird. I just seem to catch all these weirdo things that happen to me, and I can't tell if it's a glitch or me being a complete idiot. I don't know. But here we go. We can finally see we're doing damage to this Moab class balloon. It goes a little bit more because it does the corrosive damage as well as the extra random half damage that we're doing per shot. Is it helpful? Not very much. If I was going to do this guy, I would for sure do the 0-2-4 just to get that grouped damage, man. If we're stunning balloons, this is just awesome. Once he ends up getting unglued or kind of escapes over here, you're still going to end up doing that corrosive damage and everything, but eventually these guys are going to keep on going through and slide through your defense. So what are the best glue gunners in the game, and where should you position them? That's like the last thing we got to talk about. Well, almost always position them sort of up towards the front of the map or towards the middle of the map. You almost never want to put them in the end of the map, and you don't necessarily need to put them in a spot where they can attack all the different spots in the game. You probably want to put them somewhere where you're either going to hit the strongest balloons in the game, or hit the balloons that pop out of the Moabs, BFBs, and Zomai Gods. As far as best upgrades to go for, I personally love the corrosive glue bigger globs right here because it's a fairly cheap glue gunner that can knock down a lot of layers off the really strong balloons, which are usually the harder balloons for us to pop. Ceramics, rainbows, zebras, all that junk up in there, they do a great job of just damaging the balloons to allow us to kind of clean up the rest with our other towers. Though I will say that the stronger glue is actually pretty interesting. If you don't really care that much about damage, just getting stronger glue with like bigger globs and glue splatter will be a super great supportive tower. In fact, one of the towers that's probably going to be overlooked for me a lot, which I probably should get used to, is actually a glue-hosed stronger glue tower right here. They glued for basically forever, allowing all of your towers just to go to town on the balloons. Yes, he doesn't do any damage, which kind of sucks, but glue gunners aren't really meant to do damage. They're meant to slow down the balloons to let your other towers kill the balloons. Alright, and then the only other one that I would use is probably the Bloon Solver. Personally, I don't like the middle path 5th tier at all, and the 5th tier super glue, I feel like I'm just a little bit better off with like the 5th tier ice towers or something like that if I was planning on going for some good late game Moab class stunnage. I feel like the Ice Tower does damage and slows them down, where this guy just slows them down or stuns them instead of doing any sort of real damage against them. So, don't forget about this guy. Bigger globs is not necessary. Go for the stronger glue and everything. You're going to be a lot happier, guys. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you press that like button. Of course, have a super duper delicious day.